Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining me on this morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this morning. I'm excited about being with you on today. Thank you for joining me. Make sure that you like and share the page. Thank you so much. We're going to talk about a subject of why are narcissists increasing? Why do there seem to be an increase all of a sudden? Why? We're going to talk about that. And thank you so much for joining us, those of you who are experiencing some of the things with the narcissist. Hello there. How are you, Johannes, thank you for joining me on today. Let me see. And that's Jonay. Thank you for joining me on Jonay. Greetings to you. Good morning. It is about 3 a.m. here in the great metropolis of Seattle. Thank you for joining me on today. I'm excited about coming to you on today. You know, many of you have sent me emails, and in the emails, you said, "What is going on? I'm going to need for you to talk to me because there seemed to be this entourage of narcissism that is coming out, or narcissists that are showing up. What is happening?" We're going to talk about that on this morning. We're going to talk about why there seemed to be a sudden increase and why the numbers are rising. There's a reason why this is happening. And 9 times out of 10, if you have never met a narcissist, if you keep existing, keep living, you will have an opportunity to engage with a narcissist. And when you do, you need to be familiar in how to deal with them in the workplace and in a personal, those of you who are getting involved socially with a narcissist, the expectation of that relationship, because that relationship is going to be different from any relationship that you've had. And many of you will experience trauma and devastation as a result of engaging in this relationship. And then those of you that have been involved, and there's some of you that have been involved with numerous narcissists. You're going out of one relationship with a narcissist, and you seem to be a magnetic field to draw them in to another relationship. And that is a period that has to occur called demagnetizing yourself. And you have to demagnetize yourself by changing your mind, changing your magnet, changing your attraction, changing the way you think internally, first about yourself, and then what you draw to yourself. And many of you have been raised in a home where there was a narcissistic parent, or both parents were narcissists, or some parent guardian was a narcissist, and you got that experience, and that made you more prone that when you leave home, you were sure to meet and to draw a narcissist in your life. And some of you that had that experience, it was the commonality to meet that narcissist. It wasn't something engaging that was different. It was something that was common because you were used to it. It was something that it was a magnet. You was definitely going to draw that. And then many of you that have been in relationship, whether it was through parents, siblings, or just who you were around in the narcissist relationship, you adjusted and accommodated that relationship until now when you are in that relationship and the relationship create an abnormal use of that relationship, it becomes your normality. Hello there, my life, my little fam. Is that my little fam? There, how are you? She said they have always been around. She said, but due to the social media and the internet, people are learning that these demon robots are out there doing and the same thing and trying to destroy God's children. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I was waiting for more people to come on so we can talk about that, but you are absolutely right. What makes them, and it's not that they're not increasing, but what has make them more, how can I say, aware is the awareness. The social media is bringing it out. There are many programs that are bringing it out. We got self-aware narcissists themselves that are getting on social media, letting the people know that they know they've been diagnosed with MPD, and they are on social media, introducing themselves to social media, making people aware of different personality traits that are with the narcissist. And so there is more of awareness that seemed like it grow. She said yes, only one. She said yes, only one narcissist, and the trauma deals with me every day. Yeah, when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, there is a lot of trauma because of the devaluation, and first you get the idolization, you get the love bombing. And when you get the love bombing, you get the falsity of being built up just to be torn down. And what the narcissist does in the beginning, they build you up, they take you to a height, and they do this extremely fast. It's like on a roller coaster ride. The roller coaster ride goes all the way up, and it's the thrill of knowing that it will come down, and the thrill of knowing at the height that you go, that is going to be the dissension. And so that's the way it is with a narcissist relationship. They take you to the height. They can take you as high as you let them go. And everything that's quick, it bypass your thoughts, it bypass your reasoning because it's too quick. It's like speeding past a road that you've been going through 1,000 times. And one day you slow down and finally see the scenery that is around you. And you didn't know that house was there. You didn't know that store was there. Why? Because you slowed down and now you can see it. And so that's the way it is with a narcissist relationship. You're going up to the height. You're being pulled up to the height only to descend at the level that you was pulled upward. And that can be quite devastating. And it bypassed the mind because it's so quick. When you are descending, you don't have time to think. You are in that flow. You are in that move. And so narcissists and their relationship is different than any other relationship because the regular relationship usually take time to know each other, time to introduce each other. And so you going at a pace, you have the rhythm. Narcissists will break all rhythm. Narcissists will go at high speed. Everything is at a high speed chase and a high speed operation. Hello there, Haka. How are you? Good morning to you, woman of God. Thank you for joining me on today. And Jonacy, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for joining me on today. I'm excited about being with you on today. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about because the narcissist relationship is usually very, very uh, deteriorating with time. So, Haka, how are you? Thank you for joining me on today. Uh, Eating this ice. Ooh, it's so good. Okay. And so let's talk about why there seems to be this interest and this increase in narcissism. She said, I'm good and I pray you are. I am doing excellent. I am doing excellent. The social media has made this aware. And like I stated before, the narcissists themselves are coming out. Self-aware narcissists are coming out telling you about themselves, telling you what not to do with the narcissist. Very interesting conversation. And so many people are now becoming less empathetic. They're becoming less sensitive because mothers and fathers are in the workforce. And so children are forced to micromanage themselves because their parent is not there. And so they are having to grow up in a different way. And they are introduced to social media. Social media is bringing all kind of introductory past the age of the child because there's no management, there's no supervision, and the child is on their own. The parent makes sure the child got food. The parent makes sure that the child is safe by telling them what not to do when they are not there, but the child is absent of authority absent of management. And so they self-manage, they self-govern, and they use the internet as a training source. They use the internet as a parental source. And so this brings a lack of sensitivity, a lack of sensitivity to authority, a lack of sensitivity to security. Their security now come in what they do. Their perspective now come into what they do. And they was saying that there was years ago, well, over 10 years ago, 30% of college student was recognized as being without sympathy, without the proper level of sympathy and empathy. Now it's reversed where there's 70% of students, that college student, that is without sympathy or empathy. And what is happening, these children have grown up into a self-management and a self-government realm. And so they learn to be hardcore. They've learned to protect themselves. And many of them have learned to be with social media. So they are without sociality with people. And they've learned to govern themselves with themselves by themselves. And then they get into themselves. And so they don't know what it is to have proper parenting. They don't know what it is to be properly cared for. They know self-care. And so a lot of this have brought in an inwardness to that child. It brought in an inwardness to their mindset where they went internal, and everything they did and everything they said and all the governing factors is internal. And so this internal perspective has caused a lack of sensitivity, and so now when they get out into the workforce, they grow into the workforce and they are internal instead of dealing external. And when they look external, they're basing everything on their views, on their perspective of how they see things. And when things don't happen their way, there is a certain anger that comes up because a lot of times they feel a sense of entitlement. They feel a sense of entitlement. And that entitlement is, I'm going to have it my way. Why? Because I've been doing it my way. I raised myself. I did what I want to do, and now I'm going to have it my way. Hello, Kim. How are you? Thank you for joining me on today. Hello there. How are you? And Kim, thank you for being with us on today. And those of you that are on in the wee hours of the morning, and I know you are in different time zones and different elements. And if you can, and as you see on the topic, we're discussing why there seems to be an increase in the narcissist. Why is there more recognition of where they are? Because now the graduates of college are going into the workforce. They're having relationships, they're getting married, and they're going into the workforce. And so the next video I want to do, I want to talk about narcissism, a narcissist in the workforce. What does that mean to you to have a narcissist there working with you? Because there are different types of narcissists, different characteristics of narcissists, different depths of narcissism, and the type, the depth, and how they are is displayed to what kind of environment is going to be created in that workplace, just like how the environment is created in the home. The narcissist is totally self-absorbed. The narcissist will not surrender rights or their will, because the narcissist will have it their way or no way. Uh, and so the narcissist then think that everything should be centered around them, around them. Nothing else. Can you imagine being with a person and you have a relationship with a person and you get in a relationship, and relationship means to relate. So there's two people relating to each other. However, with the narcissist, they want you to relate to them. You're trying to have a relationship with only one person being related to. And the narcissist, that's why a lot of times it's not even a relationship, it's an event. The narcissists usually have an event with you. They have an exercise with you. Why? Because they never have the proper attachment and the proper care and the proper love. And it doesn't matter how many years you spend with the narcissist. The definition of who they are is the display of how they are in the relationship. And you're going to find a disturbing trend in that relationship, that everything go back to a one-way street. It doesn't matter how parallel things are. It doesn't matter how you discuss. It doesn't matter how you explain or how you express yourself. With the narcissist, it's self-indulgent. With the narcissist, there's blame. With the narcissist, it's an oversensitive and exaggerated sense of entitlement. With the narcissist, and a lot of times you're trying to have relationship with these people, and these people were raised caring for themselves, or if they was in a narcissist family, these people was raised with a sense of trauma bonding. They were raised with neglect. They was raised with rejection. They was raised with abandonment. And so this sense, some people that was raised with that, they didn't go inside of themselves and blocked everything out. No, some people got rejection. They dealt with the rejection. They got hurt by the rejection, but they never went internally. They still communicate. They still was able to have relationships with other people where they could relate. They still had sympathy. They still was merciful. They still care. But the narcissist, something happened that triggered them, and these elements are turned off. Compassion, not totally deleted because they can use it for themselves. Empathy, not totally deleted because they can use it for themselves. And what I mean, it's a false sense of empathy with the narcissist because they have a problem relating to your pain. They have a problem relating to your love. So when they know pain from experiencing the pain, the devastation, the holes that's on the inside of them. And so when you hook up with the narcissist, you're hooking up with their voice. You're hooking up with their holes. And this way, the narcissist then get with you, produce a family, and expresses themselves through that family, and the family now engages in the narcissist behavior, and guess what the family does? They produce after the narcissist. They produce after that behavior. So sometimes the narcissist family will produce the empath, but the narcissists also produce narcissist children because they train them and raise them according to their standards. Hey, Tim G, how are you? Thank you for joining me on today. Good to have you. Hello, Vibrant Spirit. God bless you. Hey, Kay, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. She said, love that necklace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And TMG says, she said, listen and follow Apostle's instruction, and you will be so happy on the other side. Absolutely. Because why should you be miserable? Do you know there are some people that have been with a narcissist for over 50 years and they're just as insecure as when they first started the relationship? The relationship never graduated to a security. When you are in a relationship, the longer you're with that person, you usually finish each other's sentences. You start to know each other, love each other, care for each other, give to each other, and you become one with each other. But with the narcissist, it doesn't matter how many years you spend with the narcissist is still selfish. NPD, that disorder, will not allow them to express outside of themselves in caring for you fully. That's not what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you crave. A narcissist is a narcissist. And the reason they have been diagnosed, those that have received a medical diagnosis, the reason they have been recognized with MPD is there are certain traits that come out. 5 of the 9 traits have come out, at least a minimum of 5 before they even categorize them as having and dealing with NPD. So Kay said, it's true. She said, until I caught on to NPD, she said, I didn't know what made people act like that. She said, she said, like they do. She said, and I know, and it's increasing at an alarming rate. Absolutely. And then Kay said, so much knowledge from you, Helen. Thank you so much. And I pray that that will always be the case. Yes, it's increasing because more and more people, if you look at our society and you look at how children are, Children are governing themselves. They're raising themselves. It's almost like they're now raising the parent. The children are telling the parent what to do. When we were growing up, our parents stayed in charge. When we were growing up, we had leader parents. Now the kids are growing up, we got leader children, and we have following parents. And so the children now cannot handle the responsibility of raising themselves. They cannot handle adult issues at a child level. And that's what we're doing. We're allowing them to experience adult issues at a child level, and it's traumatizing them. It's damaging the brain. And so the brain is receiving trauma and devastation. And what is happening, the kids have no hiding place, they have no safe zone. So the safe zone is to go inside and lock up. And when they go inside and lock up, it is the preparation of a narcissist, the creation of a narcissist. It is self-preservation. It is total personality reservation. It is total security. It is hatred, and it is domination. It is entitlement and assault, overextended self-right issue, that this belonged to me, whether I earn it or not, whether I deserve it or not, is rightfully mine. And so when you deal with issues like that with the narcissist and they're growing up, a lot of times it's not even recognized that a child is a narcissist until it used to be 18 years old. But now they're recognizing it younger in children, where they can recognize it at 15, they can recognize it as 12. And then they have a history of the child while they was growing up. They was selfish, they was fighting, everything is mine. And because children are so naturally given to themselves and can be selfish, it's hard to differentiate that personality trait when they're growing up as when they get older, and they should be more accountable, more responsible, able to reason, able to understand. And then this lack of understanding right and wrong start coming into display, because there are some children that do things. They may even kill cats, cut off heads of animals, abuse children, fight. And it's abnormal. It's not in a normal sense. These kids are growing up into narcissism. These kids are going to school, narcissists. They're going to college, narcissists. They're going in the workplace, narcissists. They're having a relationship, narcissists. They're getting married, narcissists. They're having children, narcissists. And then they have all of these multiplicity of families where all of these children are born from the narcissist, but they have no governing factor, because the narcissists see them as an extension of themselves, not as a loving, caring parent. They don't. And that extension of themselves, if they don't care about themselves, they're not going to care about the children. And you said, well, narcissists can love their children like anybody else. We never said they couldn't care for their children. But is it love when it's totally self-absorbed? It doesn't mean they doesn't respect their children, but a narcissist that cannot love themselves, a narcissist that cannot love you, you think they can transfer over and start loving the kids? Come on, let's talk about this. Kay says so much knowledge. Thank you so much. Hello there. How are you? Boy, that looked like a German name. Vibrant said they are everywhere. They're everywhere you are. They're in the workforce. They're in the churches. Just because you go to church don't mean you're narc free. Some of them are in the pulpit, and they are full-fledged narcissists. And they are malignant. They are pathological. They are somatic. They are covert. They are overt. They could be any form, any place that a narcissist can fit. And what they look for is over-exaggerated praise of them. They look for the weakness of you. The narcissists, when they find your strength, they want to find a back door. They're backdoor hackers of your emotions. So they're going to find a back door, and that back door is going to be a place of devastation. So when the narcissists meet your strength, the narcissist is looking for your weakness, because the narcissist can't handle your strength, because most narcissists they have an inflated ego. or they have all of these insecurities. When you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, a lot of times their ego is overinflated. And I mean totally overinflated, where their risk factor, they would take the risk of someone losing their lives if necessary, and just to get what they want done. So based on the narcissists themselves, this is the occurrence of what you're going to experience, and your experience is going to be based on who they are. And this is why you see this increase, because people, when you take authority out of situation, when there is a younger virgin or the child, and the child is having to raise themselves, even if the child is with the parent give leniency to the child, to give the child self-governing, and the child cannot handle that because there's no knowledge, there's no accountability, and there's no responsibility factor that is at the level of that child. So you give that child adult factors, and the child capsize. They totally shipwreck emotionally, and you noticing all of this anger, all of this frustration. You notice the child fighting, and you call it personality, but what is happening, something is going on internally with that child, and that child is growing up, and they're having a sense of patterns, or they're having cycles, or they're having systems established mindset. NPD come from an established mindset, a system that is within that child. It is a cycle that is a continuum. And when you get a cycle, it's not going to break. You loving them is not going to break. Sometimes you loving the narcissist irritate them and agitate them because your love seems like control. And so what they do is fight your love because they're fighting the control. And the narcissist is like, I will never yield to you. I will never submit to you. I will never bend to you. You are never going to take me over. You are never going to lead me. That's the narcissist. And what you are doing is loving them, but the misinterpretation of your emotions. And see, you fight the misinterpretation because your interpretation of love is giving and caring. That's not their interpretation. So you bring in your vocabulary, you bring in your encyclopedia of words, emotion, and establishment, and the narcissist cannot identify that. So you keep spending years trying to win them over while they're spending years getting deeper into who they are. Contradictory. Um, Kim said, I knew it was something wrong when with people because she said of their outburst behavior. She said, I wasn't aware of correct mental illness definition. Absolutely, because narcissism is a source of mental illness. She said, oh, Apostle. She said, where have you been? She said, I've been missing you. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much. She said, thank you for loving us to life. Absolutely. Janice, if you were here, I would give you a big, 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 big hug. Equal Love said, bravo. And Peaceful Guy, hey, Peaceful Guy, how are you? He's a great information on a complicated subject. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And see, we're talking about why there is all of a sudden an increase. It's an awareness. Remember, 10 years ago, it was 30% of people lacking empathy. And now today, that's 70%. So it's a change over. It's a change over. And every 1 in 100 is pathological with narcissism. And when you are dealing with a narcissist, that 10% narcissist that's malignant, that may be psychopathic, sociopathic, especially psychopathic, where they have no empathy, they don't feel the wrong that they do. They don't feel the hurt that is initiated on you. They don't feel your tears. They don't feel your pain. They don't feel your craving for them. They don't feel anything. They feel that they're entitled. You're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to be so glad I'm in your life because I could be in somebody else's life. Somebody else would enjoy me. Somebody else will give their right arm, and here I am with you. You need to feel privileged. That's their mindset. That is their mindset. Can you imagine multiplying that to the nth degree over 15 years, over 20 years, and you're trying to change a person that can't go inside to see themselves? And then they're raising families to be like themselves because they see them as an extension of themselves. That's why parenting can be very hard with a narcissist, because a narcissist has their concept of parenting. And it's usually against your concept of parenting, because remember, they're right and you're wrong. They're entitled and you're not. They're privileged and you should be grateful. And so when you're trying to raise children and the house is divided, the opinions is divided, the thoughts of how they should be raised is divided, you're going to get divided kids. And at that time, they're either going to go over to narcissism, or it be empathetic, and that's the empath. They're going to go over to the empath syndrome. And a lot of time, it's very difficult for the child to raise normally in a situation like that. And those who escape into normalcy usually are traumatized. They need a trauma therapist. They end up in seeing a therapist, a psychologist, or a counselor, because of what they've been through all of those years. They can enjoy a regular relationship. And there are some children that have been so abused, they look for their abuser. And that's why you got narcissists that look for a greater narcissist to abuse them. And when you get a narcissist like that that's looking for a narcissist, they cannot handle a regular relationship. They need another narcissist. And more than likely, these narcissists want a malignant narcissist because they need the pain. It's like cutting. A lot of people cut on themselves because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel like they deserve the pain. And the pain identifies with them because they're hurt and there's been an intrusion on their emotions. And so this is the people that are being raised up. These are the people that you are meeting to love, to marry. These are people that you're meeting in your workplace. Let's talk about it. And Janet said, hugs you. Oh, God bless you. Peaceful Guy said, glad you are helping this issue. People need help escaping these nightmares. Peaceful Guy, that is so true. And that's what Janet said. The truth will set you free. Absolutely, Janice. Absolutely. Hakar said, and this is true. And Kim said, this is true, Kate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kate said they are better at manipulating as they age too. Yeah. She said, a mother narc always has to give the golden child and flying monkeys. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a video that's titled The Aging Narcissist. Go back and look at that video. The aging narcissist can be a piece of work to deal with. It can be a piece of work because the older they get, now they cannot do physiologically the things that they used to do. And then sometimes they are mentally impaired. So you got this selfishness on top of the impairment. Come on. And so think about it when you raise children up that have been internally traumatized by being raised from one narcissist parent or two narcissist parents. When you got a house and these child have two narcissist parents, and you have the subservient parent that is a narcissist that is dominated by the malignant narcissist, and they're the dominating factor, and they always see this parent, even though they're submitted to the narcissist, the parent is still a narcissist. So you still got all of these personality traits. Though they're submitted to the malignant narcissist, they are devastating to that child. And if the malignant narcissist chooses that child as the golden child, the subjected narcissist start torturing that child. And once that child go and tell the malignant narcissist, who's the golden child, what that parent doing that is the narcissist, and there's abuse, there's physical violation, emotional violation, and the narcissist trains that child, the making of himself, the making of another narcissist. The narcissist trained that child how to go after that parent like the narcissist. Will you give me that water, please? How to go after that parent just like the narcissist. And so when the narcissist go after that parent know not to violate that golden child. Why? Because they're not going to only deal with the golden child. they're going to have to deal with the narcissist. So now you got the narcissist that's in charge, and you got the child that's in charge, because the child is being raised in master manipulation, and they're manipulating that narcissist. So you got two narcissist parents that's raising up a golden child that is the golden child narcissist that is being raised up at an early age, who master in manipulation. And when they're mastering in manipulation, they will go after their emotions, and it's almost like witchcraft. It's almost like being mesmerized. They get around people, and these people emotions are held hostage at the presence of a child. So you'll notice in their teenage years, they got groups of people around them. In their teenage years, they're dominating. And as they grow, the golden child start having more and more following, because they've learned how to manipulate. And they are totally selfish. They're totally self-centered. Look at the increase. We're talking about the increase now. And the increase is the government. You get to the seed of where the harvest come from, and you can see why things are on the increase, because parents, young parents now, don't know how to parent. They know that they want success, they know that they want things, and they willing to sell out their kids to get it. So they teach their kids, even though they love them, because not that one of the parents may not be narcissists, but they want the things, they want the success, and the child is the bait. The child is the risk factor, and they risk the child growing up secure to make sure they got those things to give to the child. I'm telling you, this is something else. Haka said, keep meeting narcissists, criminal after leaving the narc. Okay, that means Haka, you have to demagnetize. You still got the magnet, and the magnet is a narc drawer. It's a beacon for the narc. So right now, you're a beacon for the narc. What you have to do, you may not like this, but it is so true. You may not can have a relationship right now. You can't get involved with anybody right now. You got to detoxify, and you got to demagnetize. And the reason you keep drawing them, because your body system, your body blueprint is telling you what is on the blueprint. This is what you're going to draw. It doesn't matter what you want. Your internal measure is the drawing mechanism of what's coming in your life. And what is it? It's a narc. You got a narc beacon. Beep, beep, beep. Here they come. They're coming. And so you got to take the time to detoxify. And sometimes to detoxify, you can't be with a relationship. I can't relate. And you can't relate to me. Why? Because I'm keep drawing things that killing me. I keep drawing things that are hurting me. I keep drawing what I left. I keep drawing what I'm refusing. And what I refuse and keep finding its way to my front door. And I don't know why I keep opening the door. Ding dong, open the door. No, you got to detoxify. Because guess what? Narcs grow themselves. And when they get with supply, they want to transcribe your mind. They want to override. Remember, I did those overshadowing and overlay. They want to overlay their life on top of your life, because to them, your life is not good enough. You need their life. And so you will find that you're very giving, very caring, very loving. But if you stay with that narc, you'll find yourself being a little bit more mean. You are intense. You usually quiet, but now you're very vocal. And that's the frustration. It's the frustration of not having a resolve. It's a frustration of dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. That's what is happening. Janet said, narcissist Jezebel are like Hitler's. She said, same devil. Hatred, power, control, torture, pride of life. Girl, I'm giving you a high five right now. Haka said, true. I don't even want to date. She said, and I tell them that, and I know that they're narcs because they won't respect that. You don't have to tell them. Why I have to tell you I don't want to date you? I'm just not going to date you. You're not my dad, and I don't have to answer to you. Baby girl, you don't have to tell them. You ignore them. You ignore them. Until you ignore them, Haka, you're going to draw in a narcissist. So your flavor now is to go bland. Yeah, you can't have strawberry, peach, or banana. You got to go bland. And what bland mean? When they introduce themselves, you keep moving. When they're hollering at you, you keep moving. If they give you a number, you find the garbage. You keep moving. I'm not going to explain to you. I'm not married to you. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you an explanation why I don't want to deal with you. No, that's for me. With my historical account, that's for me. It's for me to grow. It's for me to detoxify. It's for me to affirmate who I am and to rediscover myself. And the only way you can get away from the narcissist magnet is to demagnetize. I don't want to draw a man right now. I'm not interested. You know, you look good. Yes, I do. And you keep moving. And you keep going. Haka, you have to deflame, put the fire out. Don't even answer. Don't even feel a responsibility to answer them. You don't need to know my name. You don't need to hear my voice because I have no obligation whatsoever to you. Believe it or not, you started to take your authority back with a narc. You know, and that there is no relation, there's no connection, but I'm starting to take my authority back. I'm starting to believe who I am again. I'm starting to know who I am again. I'm starting to like who I am again. And see, the only way that you're going to discover yourself and know yourself is to get away from everything, get away from everybody. Give me a chance to purify and cleanse. And you'll know when that happens because you won't want anybody. And then the right person will show up. The man that you've always wanted will show up. And believe it or not, when the good man show up, don't think it's not an adjustment. It's still going to be an adjustment after you detoxify because you never had a good man. And that good man may seem like a weak man. And they're not. They care. They love you. That's why it's good to detoxify. So you can recognize beyond what you had. Vibrant say, yep. That is so true. And Equal Love said, she said, you have to do the work. She said, and this is not an easy task. She said, I know from experience. Absolutely. I know from experience. She said, thank you so much again for teaching. You are absolutely welcome. She said, and they love to brainwash kids. Yep. To be a narc too. She said, or the empath. And it's and abused mentally, even if they don't physically abuse the children. Absolutely. And the narcissist, a narcissist is horrible with the empath because the empath can sense, they can feel, they got a knowing about them, of the environment, they got a knowing about them, of people, they can pick up people's pain, they can pick up people's uneasiness, and they cater to that. And the reason the narcissist love the empath, because the empath goes to cater to that, because the empath got this syndrome called I can fix it, until they learn not to fix it. And the narcissist love that because what? The empath is going to cater to that narcissist. They're going to praise that narcissist. They're going to be there for their narcissist. They're going to try to fix that narcissist. Can you imagine a kid with their parent trying to fix their narcissist and just praising them? And whatever the parent tells that child to do, the child is doing it to try to please the parent. And they never do, because it's something about the empath that agitates the narcissist, irritates the narcissist, because they count it as weakness. And anytime the narcissist sees himself and he sees the negative traits in the child or in a person, they go after them full force with all vengeance. Why? Because the narcissist is not able to subject and look inside of themselves. They hate looking inside of themselves. That's why they treat you so bad. Can you imagine to have an empathic child, a child that is an empath, and they are loaded with mercy and they're loaded with feelings and understanding, and when you don't want it, they are giving it and trying to please you. Oh, that is a setup for torture. That's why they trauma bond. They traumatize them, and then they bond you to that trauma. And that's Stockholm syndrome, where you love the killer and you love the pain. That's what the narcissists train you in. They learn to love. They teach you to learn that killer instinct. And what if they kill you emotionally, kill your dreams? They're not going to kill you physically. Some of them won't. But the dreams, your hopes, the way you care, and they kill that in the child. Why? Because it was killed in them. And so if their parents didn't give it to them, they don't want their own kids to have it. So they'll kill it. The only person they wanted to live in is the golden child, because the golden child is also an extension of them. Everything they ever want to be, everything they think they are, they put it in the golden child. And why the golden child turned out wrong, because their life is totally 100% ran by the narcissist. They have no free will. They have no free choice. They have to do what they're told, or the narcissist would turn on them and get their other child to take their place until they get jealous enough to get back in their place. Crazy, isn't it? But that's the way that ball rolls. Kay said, peaceful, peaceful guy said, yep, that's the way it is. It's absolutely the way it is. Look, let me tell you, the best thing to do is to watch the red flags in the beginning. You got all of these red flags that come up, but it's almost like being under this witchcraft spell. So you have to catch it in the love bombing stage. 3 months with a narcissist can take you 2 years of therapy. 2 years for 3 months. And think about it. You've been with them for 10 years. Oh my God. If God don't come in with a miracle, baby, your therapist gonna make some money. Lots of it. Because to travel you through the forest of emotional entrapment, emotional devastation, it's going to take time to get to your core. It's going to take time to peel all of that back, to get to the real you again. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to recognize, what am I doing? I'm producing another family. I got 5 kids. 3 of them got these traits. 2 of them act like empath. And so they're bumping heads all the time in the house with the narcissist, going against everybody, and you supposed to be the sound one, and you're trying to hold on to your peace, hold on to your mind, hold on to whatever reality that you have, and now you have a sense of, I don't know what's real or not, because you can see those traits in those children young. They've already started, and they're not usual. They are abnormal for that child to be 3 doing this. And I mean, he takes the cat, and you go in there and the child is choking the cat. And there's something in their eyes when you look in there that they found pleasure into doing that. Think about it. Hello there, Diane. How are you? She said, I've shut down from everything and everyone to get away and find myself again. Oh, absolutely. And Hakar said, I had a dream about the narc, and I'm tired of thinking about him after all this time. See, Hakar, you just confirming what I said. That's why you have to demagnetize. You have to. And it takes time. It's not easy. Because when you ruminate and they are in your dreams, they like your dreams because that's deep subconscious embedment. And you rise up out of your subconscious and it launches to the forefront of your consciousness, and you ruminate. You think about them. And while you're thinking about them, you walk through the store and you can smell the cologne that they used to wear. Or you look at somebody and they walk past you and you see a silhouette of how they look. Or somebody say something and boy, that voice sound like that. That is the narcissist. So you're dealing with a soul tie. Some of y'all have dealt with the witchcraft and the sorcery that keeps them there, because the narcissist always prepares for their next arrival in your life. And we call that hoovering. They always prepare. They never leave the road clean. Even when they leave the road clean, they always leave a hook that even 10 years, 15 years, if they want to come back, they're going to try to come back. And the thing is, when the narcissists come back, they have in their mind the remembrance of you, and they remember you how they left you. They don't remember you how you've grown and changed. So you get the treatment of the mirrors that they've had in the lives of people, but you get the memory of how they left you. And if they left you like that, they come to you like that. And that's what they're expecting. But nobody stays the same. Even the narcissists grow more into their narcissism. Even though their pattern They grow in it because with every supply, they mirror that supply. And like a robot or like a computer that downloads information, every person they're with, they download that information. And when you hit that button and that computer open, you get the information that computer has, which is the narcissist. So you get all the experience, all the soul tie that the narcissists have. Because if you get Hoover and you push that button and open them up, you're going to get that information. But you're also going to get devastation. Every time the narcissists leave and come back, it's going to be worse. It is never, ever better. Janet said, she said, the most important thing in life is to master hearing Jesus' voice. She said, an obedient God of the Holy Spirit. She said, pleasing him and getting our validation from him, not being a people's pleaser of any man over God. That is true. That is true. But honey, let me tell you something. When you with a narc, you got to get to that. You know, that's true for you when you're not with the narcissist. And that's true for you once you get out. But honey, you can be saved and with the narcissist, then you need to learn spiritual warfare, how to fight those spirits, how to keep your mind in order, and how to keep your mind, your spirit free, because you're going to go through something. Whatever you're connected with, you're affected by. The Bible said, how can two walk together except they be agreed? That's a state of being verb, and you already got to be in agreement. So when you're with the narcissist bring you over in agreement, or there's no relationship. They won't last because the narcissist is not going to let you dominate them. And I see programs managing the narcissist. How are you going to manage rebellion? How are you going to manage unsubjectiveness? You can't manage a narcissist because the narcissists have their own mind. You can barely manage yourself with them. So how are you going to manage the narcissist? That's foolishness. You don't manage them. You don't manage them. You release an ordinance as a supervisor. If you're in the workplace, you release the ordinance and hold them accountable for it. They manage themselves according to what is released and your expectation, because that's why you're hired. But you can't manage a narcissist. Some people say, I got him. You know, I can handle him. No, you cannot. It's just like handling Satan. How can you do it? You have a different spirit than he do. You have God's spirit and he's Satan. So how you going to put those two together and they collaborate? How can two walk together except they be agreed? You can't even walk with him. His mind is different. His thoughts are different. His ways are different. How you going to walk with that? You can't. So the Holy Spirit, you can be led by the Holy Spirit. But if you led by the Holy Spirit, whom the Son make free is free indeed. There's going to be a freedom. Yes. And even if you are under the auspices of the Holy Spirit, I believe you can walk in victory. But believe me, there will be challenges because you got a diabolical force that is still imminent in the picture while you are walking with the Lord. Oh, Haka said, I've been gone over a year. She's got a promotion, doing better, and I still feel the pain, and it hurts at times. I know it does, because that doesn't stop your love for them. She said, I've been in therapy for almost 28 years, and I know, she said, I knew when I left my parents' house that there was something seriously wrong with them. And she said, I don't know what to bring. She said, and I did not want to bring those traits in my life. I know you didn't. She said, you're so right. You know, she said, Naya said, amen, Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, when you're raised in the situation, you have to counteract that through time and implementing principles. And the Bible calls it transformation of mind. When you change your mind about things, you change your perspective, the way you see things, then you can change how you do things, and then you can change the pattern that comes in your life. So your perspective and your mindset, you have to get your thoughts to it sets in your mind. And when it sets in your mind, it becomes a collaborative continuum. That means it becomes a system, and every system has a pattern, and this pattern creates a lifestyle. And so this is why she said she's been in therapy for 28 years. She's been in therapy for 28 years. You can imagine the depth that that narcissist had in her life. And nothing is impossible for God. Absolutely nothing. But sometimes you have to get those layers off a little bit at a time, because it's just to come in, bam, and shatter it. It would devastate you. When Israel came out of Egypt, God took them a little bit at a time. He said, lest if they see war, they get despaired. And so he didn't want them to go through despairing by seeing war, seeing what they never saw before, because you're going to slavery being told what to do, to having fight for what you want. Naya said, God dealt with me regarding watching self-aware narcissists because it was making me comfortable with them. Of course, she said, and I can't forget how I was treated, which helped me stay away. Absolutely. She said, I'm writing a book about my experience. Go ahead, Sky Chase. Absolutely. And you know what? That book is going to help so many people, because you're going to say the hearts of people. You're going to say what they want to say, but they couldn't say it. And that's what your book is going to do. It's going to bring the reality of words. It's going to bring the vocabulary of words. It will become their dictionary, their encyclopedia. It will become their emotional standard, that they couldn't express themselves. And you're writing their expression. And while they're reading your book, they're reading their life. That's why I'm finishing mine. And I'll let you know when I finish it. And it's called Venomous Love. That venomous love. The poison that keep you trapped. The poison that keep you coming. The poison that keep you hoping. The poison that keep you looking forward to something that will never be. It's living in a dream state, living in a dream land. And your reality awaits you, but you can't come out of your dream because you still sleep. And you have to wake up to come out of a dream. And that awakening can cause disorientation because you're coming out of a deep sleep. And you're disoriented for a minute till you get your mind together and realize, I'm waking up. And that's what's happening with a lot of you. You're waking up. You're waking up to the reality of what happened. You're waking up to the reality of this is history. Some of you, like Haka said, been out of it for over a year, still ruminating. See, the love of a narcissist doesn't stop because they leave, they discard you, or you get free. It doesn't stop the love. You can still love them. And if you don't watch it, you'll go to cognizant dissonance. You'll start imagining the good things and the time that you enjoyed them, but you'll start forgetting what made you leave, or what made you say, I'm glad they're gone. Because after a while, like a woman who's having a baby, doing a contraction, she promised herself she ain't never getting pregnant again. The baby's 6 months, year, 2 years, she's pregnant again. Why? Because the pain leaves, and so does the memory of the pain. You only see the joy of that child being there. And that's the way it is when you ruminate on the narcissist. The good things, some of them are excellent lovers. So you think about how love making with them, how it took you to the moon and back. Or when they did the superficial apology, how they would bring the flowers, how they knew how to romance you to get back in to get what they want before the devastation start. All the devastation he will move out of the way, and he'll just let you see the romance. So it's easy to see how the narcissist, how it grows because of awareness. Like the young lady said, the self-aware narcissist, you're going to teach me how to overcome you. You're going to teach me how to get victory over you? Gotta think about that. Gotta think about that. You know what I'm saying? So those of you that are aware, what you're going to do with that knowledge. Those of you that now you know, what are you going to do with that? Where can you put it? How can it benefit you? How can it benefit the family? What are you going to do with that? Now that you are aware, now that you know, because what you know, you grow. Something Tudor said, once you know, you go. Think about who's saying this. Once you know, you go. Freedom comes. You just have to recognize it. And it's coming your way. You just have to recognize it. And sometimes your wants for the freedom got to be greatly, greatly, greatly outmatched by your love to stay in the torment. You have to make your choices, what is suitable for you and your family. No one can do that for you. Narcissism growing, absolutely, because you grew in your awareness. And where you were blind, you're no longer blind. Now you see. We're coming to the final thrust of this live video. Janet said walls keep everybody out. Standards teach people where the door is. She said, mean your nose, separate from the narcissist, stay free, heal, and protect yourself. Yes, ma'am. 1,000 times, Janet. 1,000 times, yes. She said the recognition of change come to the path after the light turns on. Absolutely. On the narcissist who true authentic, who the true authentic narcissist. Absolutely. She said, I'm so broken inside. This is Jonay. Because that's the job they do. They are hired by another force to make sure you stay that way. But devastation can be educational. It can be the school of learning. It can be your learning curve. Because those of us that have been involved with a narcissist that have left and got free, the knowledge we have is astounding. The strength we have is astounding. And knowing us and the confidence. I have a daughter, her name is um, Telsha Edinburgh, and you can see her on the T on NPD. T on NPD. She comes on YouTube. She comes on TikTok. She comes on Clubhouse. Awesome, awesome woman, and she specializes in narcissism. She said confidence has no competition, and you better believe that. You cannot compete against your confidence because they don't know what level it is. You do. And when you get assured and confident, it is the beginning of your freedom motion. Always. And confidence belongs to you. Confidence becomes you. Confidence can be who you are every single day. It is work, but it is worth it. Come on, let's get the final statements. Just Jess. Hello, Just Jess. She said, love your energy and the time you give us. She said, my life is still getting back together after my narc mother ripped my happiness away and put me in the hospital. Oh my God. And I found Jesus and was deemed insane. Oh my God. That's what they say. You know, I did a clip and I think it was less than 10 minutes when the narcissist think you're crazy. She said, dealing with the narcissist is like running in a corn maze, and you have to study it where you have to do the work. Absolutely. She said, your Nate, God will heal your wounds. Absolutely. Every single time. He is the faithful God. Kim said the recognition of change comes to the path after the light is turned on. The narcissist, who the true, authentic narcissist is. And, ooh, sorry guys about that. Jonay said, I am so broken. Jonay, your brokenness can be also your healing place. You done went through such devastation with an individual that was supposed to care, that an individual that was supposed to love you. And they made lies to you. And those lies sound like promises, but they could never fulfill it. But if you stick with these videos and trust the Lord Jesus, I promise you, you will heal and become whole. It can happen. It will happen. I'm here because it did happen. And what happened for me can happen for you. The best thing I ever did was to enjoy my liberty and to enjoy the freedom. And it will happen for you too. Never, ever underestimate your opportunity and your ability for freedom. All right, guys. Let's read the last one. Equal Love said, by a puzzle with over 5,000 pieces, she said, every piece you put together, know the reason why you don't want to deal with the narcissist. Absolutely. On the journey of self-love, she said, my husband told me he had a girlfriend. She said, I'm so tired of the cheating, lying, smearing my name. She said, time for me to let him go. Yep, you got to know it more than anybody else. Lucretia said, almost a week since I left my husband with narc tendency. She said, and it's hard when the family doesn't understand, praying for strength to stay gone. All righty. She said, I love Telsha. Absolutely. NPD relationship. She is anointed to love us to freedom, having our souls back and heart. And Dr. Carmen Bryan, too. Absolutely. Those are two fantabulous women. My daughter, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, is awesome. You make sure you visit her YouTube videos. They will bless you. And she's an actual doctor of she's an actual therapist, and she's a trauma specialist, so she can understand the working of the brain beyond a regular coach. And I'm telling you, you will not be sorry that you did that. And the young lady that's been gone a week, we will pray for you that God will give you the strength, because you're very new, you're very infantile. So all of those emotions will wham up. When they do, I want you to come on this video, just listen to the videos, and then pray. The Bible said the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous man availeth much. God will hear you and he will answer you. Your freedom means more to you than the love that has been tortured and misunderstood in your heart. And I'm telling you, you have an opportunity to be free. For whom the Son make free is free indeed. Oh, well, I tell you, this has been fantabulous. We've been together over an hour. It seems just like a few minutes. Equals that people can say, I got peace, but baby, once you really get peace, she said, you will never allow anything to take it away from you. And that is so true. That is so true. She said, I am teachings. Okay. So let us rejoin each other again. I told you that I also wanted to come on, and when I want to come on, we can go on Clubhouse, and I will be on both ports at the same time. So I'm looking forward to my next live with you. I appreciate you, and I value you so much. And I want you to know that I love you with my life, my time, my heart, my experience. And I want to be here for you. Please write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. If you want to do coaching, I do Zoom and audio coaching. So call me and write me, and then you can call me. You can write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. Let's talk, especially a young lady just been gone a week. I would love to mentor you in coaching, and I would love to talk to you. So destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. And those of you who have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe, push that bell, and every time I come on, you will be alerted. Every time I upload new content, you will be the first to know. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your trust. And thank you for allowing me to present a safe place for you to grow, to learn, and to be free. Hugs and kisses to you, and I will see you on the next video. I am Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. God bless you.